Okay guys, so here's everything that comes with the kit. You get 4 zip ties, the controller buttons, and the display with a USB port in the back, and the main controller and the display mount that mounts the handlebars. So I think you're supposed to just zip tie the controller to the seat post bar, but I think I'm gonna, the down tube or whatever it's called, I think I'm going to 3D print a mount eventually so it is more secure, and for now I'll just use the zip ties. So on to the install. One thing you got to know is this controller does not support the premium headlight, so I am going to downgrade it back to the stock headlight, and I also will be removing the 2 USB chargers. I contacted them and they said it should work, but I just don't really want to take any chances to destroy this new controller. Okay, so you want to disconnect the green to your display, take that off, and then you want to take the bottom wiring panel off if you want to take your old controller out. And then there's some screws here, so I'm removing the screws here, and then I'm going to take this out so I can get to the controller and take the stock one out and remove those 2 screws holding it in. Alright, so I took out those 2 screws here, slid out the default stock controller, undid the connector down here for it, undid the motor connector, and there was also a power connector right here which we're going to reuse, but we're going to, instead of routing it up to meet the controller now, we'll be routing it back down this way to meet the controller. I'm going to see if we can clean up some of the wires and keep them in here as I do this, so stay tuned. Alright, so I basically put the slack in here, and I'm going to I screwed this back on, I put the top lock piece back on, and I'm going to put this back in here, and this will cover the wires, that way there's no slack down here with the motor wire. Here I zip tied this for now. I might reroute this in the front here now, and then, because I just don't like how that's rubbing there. Alright, so I got everything all plugged in, and I'm about to power it up and test it out and see what happens. I'm going to plug in the battery and cross my fingers we don't get any type of errors. Alrighty, so the battery's in. Now let's see if we can power this baby on. Oh, so yeah, it's supposed to go this way. Alright. Great, so I could already see the voltage, which is cool. It's in kilometers, so I'm going to have to change some things. Time, distance, everything's in kilometers. I'm going to go in and change some settings. Alright guys, so it's been a little while since I installed the controller and I was able to ride the bike a few times on the beach. You can check out some of my previous videos to see me riding it on the beach. It definitely adds a lot more torque to the motor. I right now have it capped off at around 1200 watts, I think. I can do 1500 watts, but I don't really want to take a chance of maybe possibly melting the rear wires or the pins to the motor. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the settings I have. When I power it on here, I'm going to power it on and then hold down the up and down arrows to get into the settings, and you can see all the settings I changed to get the Fahrenheit settings and the wheel diameter to get an accurate speed. So the pros to this KT controller upgrade are it definitely allows more wattage to be put to the motor for more torque. It doesn't increase your top speed. You'd actually have to get a higher voltage battery to increase your RPMs on the motor to increase your top speed. Another positive thing about this is I like how it doesn't have an automatic lights on feature, so when you turn on the bike it doesn't just turn on automatically, which isn't great for the beach at night. It's also cool that it shows temperature and your actual voltage. Some of the cons are it definitely drains the battery a little faster. You know, costs money. Right now I think it's $229 plus shipping, or I'm not too sure if shipping was free, I forget.
and you can't also use the premium headlight anymore, but you can opt to go with an aftermarket USB charge light. But hopefully you guys found this video useful, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch any more videos like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you for watching.